Vortex! I was just thinking about something that I think is really, really important. You tell me if I'm right. Now, as a comedian, we're supposed to approach things from as many different angles as possible. The reason why comedy sucks, as of late, and it's been sucking, okay? The reason why comedy sucks is because people only want to look at things from one, maybe two angles. If you're lucky, they look at things from two angles. But the only reason why they look at things from two angles is for the sole purpose of proving that the other angle is wrong. Now, I do this shit for fun. I don't do this shit because I want to be right or because I think that I'm better than other people. But I tried to warn people a long ass time ago about the negative impact of social media and how it was going to completely destroy society. And all those motherfuckers thought that I was taking it way too seriously. Can you imagine that? A schizophrenic taking things way too seriously? Turns out I wasn't hallucinating. But anyway, I think if I really want to hurt people, and I know that's not a good thing, but that's what I want to do, but if I really wanted to make an impact, if I really wanted to hit them below the belt, all I have to do is mention their ancestors. Because that's like what a lot of this stuff is about. Who belongs in this country? What are the rights of the citizens of this country? What do we deserve in this country, right? What if I told you that freedom is a fucking pipe dream? I can understand people wanting to immigrate over here so that they can have more freedom, right? But people that have lived here for fucking ever, they have no idea what that looks like. And the more immigrants that I talk to, the bigger that picture keeps on getting. So I just talked to this girl yesterday. She randomly comes to my church. She said she goes to like 5 different churches. But she's from the Philippines. And she was just talking about like how much hardship there is over there. And you know, people literally come to this country for the opportunity. Now that doesn't mean that it's equal, because equality is also a pipe dream that only fools bring up over and over and over again because they want to have one over you. So that's what they do. You know, they do it with race, they do it with gender, they do it with sexual orientation. So it kind of figures that, you know, if there's certain people that think that they're superior to other people, eventually that's going to backfire. You know? And the white race is seeing that right now. And men are seeing that right now. Straight people are seeing that right now, and I'm not laughing about it. I'm a white person, so I probably shouldn't laugh about it. I need to stop talking with food in my mouth. I'm trying to be more mindful of that, because I know that people don't really want to see that. But I feel like it's been wrong for me to bitch about this country like I lived 100, 200, 300 years ago. You know? I have no idea what life was like back then. Nobody does. Literally nobody does, unless they have a time machine or some shit. Unless they have time traveled this whole life experience. They've been time traveling. I'd love to meet them. But you know, as a natural born conspiracy theorist and all around skeptic, I'm very suspicious of anything that people tell me that they're so sure is the truth. Because if people are so convinced that they get as emotional as they get, and they tear down people's character and try to ruin people's lives, and you know, there is that extreme. But I feel like just trying to win a debate is also really extreme. You know? It's ego. How can you possibly be so passionate about what you believe that you can't allow another person to be wrong about it? It's like if you're an actual Christian, and I think that number is very low, you probably don't want to get ahead of other people. Because the type of society that Jesus Christ advocated for is not the one that you're seeing right now. And it's not the one that a lot of Christians advocate for. It really is like a totally egalitarian society. And that's the thing that a lot of them don't want to admit. So you know when communists start singing that age-old rhyme about, oh, that wasn't real communism. Tell them that real communism is the Christian religion and just see what they do. Watch them have a fucking meltdown over that. There's probably nothing more controversial than saying that. But I think it's way more offensive to Christians that live in America or Christians that live in a Western country than, you know, communists. So, don't switch lanes yet. Wait for that guy to go. Come on, little buddy. Come on, man. I know you can drive faster than that. I have faith in you. Yay! Okay. California. Of course. That's alright. Well, the original point I wanted to bring up is very similar to the point that I make quite often about the smartphone technology and how dangerous it is. Okay? So when people talk about freedom and liberty and rights and all that shit, mention that. Because there is no quicker way that they have usurped American freedom than by convincing Americans to buy a little government tracking device that's constantly listening to them. I mean, I really don't know how else to put that shit. So, if they want to talk about their ancestors and we got to fight for this country and blah, 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 you remind them that as long as they go along with this society, they're not really respecting their ancestors. Because this kind of society is, in my opinion, so humble. So humble, alright? This kind of society is what ancestors are trying to escape. But I guess the controls are different. So when you have the phone, you can convince yourself that you're the one in control. But you're not. And eventually people are going to realize that all the stuff that they buy is the stuff that allows the powers that be to manipulate everyone and take away those rights. So you have the freedom to own the stuff that you own. And that stuff will end up becoming more important to you than your own body or your own thoughts or your internal organs, you know? And that's so crazy to think about, that we have like allowed ourselves to be completely thwarted by modern medicine and technology. And the television is a far better example of American freedoms being hijacked than anything else. And what does everybody have on their person? What does everybody have in their home? And of course they don't see it that way because they don't see the bigger picture, motherfucker! They don't! I sound like Bill Burr. I do. I'm not even from Boston. I sound like that. Boston. Boston! No, you don't have to explain to me your litany of excuses as to why you have a smartphone. I understand, okay? I mean, I'm driving a car. Who the fuck am I, right? I'm driving a car. We use technology every day. It's like I think about that all the time. Like what if the internet just shut down? Like, literally, the whole world would shut down. Because the world is, like, so dependent on it for everything. Okay? Why would people be cool with that shit? Well, it's just the way of the world. It's just the way of the world. Did it ever occur to you? Sorry, I get a little passionate, alright? Did it ever occur to you that maybe they say that in order to keep people thinking that, and as long as they think that, they control reality that way? Maybe money isn't the way of the world. Because we can provide services for one another. We can do that. Like, I'm one of those people that I want to believe in the good of humanity. I want to, but I can't. Because I see what humanity does to itself. I see the decisions that people make on a regular basis. And no, like, you are not going to be able to rationalize smartphone technology. I'm not the one, honey. You can get everybody else. You're not going to get me. And the reason why you won't get me is because I hate that shit with fire and brimstone passion. You hate the things you're told to hate. You love the things you're told to love. And I think that is, like, one of my main issues with patriotism. It's not that I think that it's so bad. It's just that it can be weaponized. And it's been weaponized so they can turn U.S. citizens into weapons against other countries. And you can turn U.S. citizens into weapons against other U.S. citizens. Alright? And they do that with money. You got rich people hating poor people hating rich people, poor people writing songs about hating rich people, rich people, I don't know what they do aside from being rich. I mean, they probably make stuff. They make a lot of stuff, right? They're able to do things with their money. That can be good, that can be bad. Money does provide people opportunities to do more. But I also believe that what Jesus has shown, maybe just me, is that, you know, you can do a lot with a little. And I mean, if you look at technology, if you look at like all the stuff you can do on a smartphone, it's like, think about how much we rely on technology for so many things, right? But if we relied on ourselves, we could do way more, even though we don't think that we're capable, you know? And that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. That people have just completely given up on themselves. And they look at me like I got two heads. And perhaps I do. Two heads are better than one, right? Hold on. Let's turn this off. I feel like we limit ourselves thinking that we need more to do what we want to do. Because there are plenty of people out there that can make things happen because of their motivation and because of their ambition. So, because people don't have motivation or ambition anymore, they want to replace that with technology. That's why people don't mind the AI. Because the AI makes their life easier. But as we've seen in this country, having it easy is not necessarily a good thing. Because then people expect it to be easy. And then whenever something happens that they don't expect, then they act like it's the end of the fucking world. Because they don't know how to deal with any kind of hardship. Not that I believe that even exists here. For so many people that complain about it, like I've said, I feel like if you're complaining about it, you don't really experience hardship. Because the people that experience it the most don't get to complain about it. That's not a luxury for them, you know? But, anyway. Don't worry. Don't worry, Vortex. We will never abandon you. No, I'll always come back, Vortex. I'll always come back. I took a break a while ago. Like when my politics started to shift, I took a 6-month break. That's how I know a piece of shit grifter when I see one. And we're not going to name names because I feel like other people have already mentioned them enough. And they're all narcissists anyway, so that's the last thing we want to do. Is give them more attention that they never deserved from the beginning. But it's like if somebody just radically changes their opinions overnight. That's why I'm a little skeptical about C.S. Lewis. Like, I like C.S. Lewis, I like his books, but like, supposedly he just became a Christian like that. Like he just had this dramatic realization and became a Christian. I mean, maybe. I should look into him though. See if he's a Freemason. The chances of that are probably high. But yeah, it's like when people radically change their worldview, seemingly overnight, and then all of a sudden they get all these views, all these likes, all these people suddenly subscribe to them. It's like, really, dude? People actually buy that shit? But I feel like the reason why people buy it is because they're not really that passionate either. Because anybody that's passionate knows another passionate person when they see one. Okay? And I think for a lot of these motherfuckers, it's like they want to be famous, or they want to feel like they've done something in this world. So they come out with a podcast. Isn't that crazy? Nobody's doing that shit, man. Nobody's coming out with a political panel. But yeah. Okay. That was Cuba. I was about to get mad. Who the fuck do you think you are? Honking at me! But yeah, man. I say what I say about grifters because I was very, very self-conscious when I realized that I was actually a conservative and not a liberal. I was extremely self-conscious. Because it totally fucked with my head, man. And I didn't want to, like, proselytize. I didn't want to, like, go out there into the world and just start yakking about conservatism and everything. You know, that's why I took as long of a break as I did. So it's like people that they can't wait to talk about something that's like either something they just read about, you know, like a news story, or maybe they're like coming to Jesus moment. All right, I'd be very, very skeptical. And I don't want to just assume that their intentions are bad. I would love to give them the benefit of the doubt that that's not the case, but 9 times out of 10 it is. Because people are bad, dude. They are. Like, I do not believe that, oh, by nature, or, you know, people are naturally good. I don't think that's true at all, dude. It's not true. Like, you're lying to yourself. You're lying to all your followers, trying to convince them of that. Most people are selfish, most people are greedy, most people are narcissistic sacks of shit that are so hypocritical, it's not funny at all. And I'm not just saying that because of their projected afterlife that I think is going to be terrible. I'm saying that because all the people that they're going to fool, not that those people don't deserve to be fooled, they keep voting, right? Well, I don't know, man. I feel like my channel represents actual, factual, literal change, and people don't know how to change. They know how to do that for money. They know how to do that for likes and approval, and so money. They don't know how to do that for themselves because they're really legitimately trying to better themselves, and hopefully in their endeavor they can inspire other people to do the same. Okay? See this? You see this? I usually don't film this, but this is what I do. Every night I do this. Okay? You don't have to tell me that this doesn't count, right? This doesn't count because I'm filming it. But just let you know, this is what an environmentalist does. This! Right here! See that? Go in there. Goodbye. Most of these people ain't environmentalists. Most of these people ain't Christians. Most of these people ain't diddly squat. They're just attention-seeking sacks of shit. Sorry, this is really negative video. I was hoping it would be positive, but, you know, we have the tendency to be kind of a cunt sometimes, you know? I kind of want to film him, but look at him. Look at that. His shoes are outside. That's hilarious. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. Anyway. There are these people that were like walking from the opposite direction, and I felt really awkward, so that's why I'm going over here. Okay? Ooh, hey, more trash to pick up. Now, there's a lot of trash that like flies out of the trash canister. Like, I understand that, especially with it not being closed. But goodbye, banana peel. Goodbye. Goodbye, receipts. Goodbye. But yeah, man, the fact that people just like leave their trash outside their car or whatever, those people should be shot in the kneecaps. They should. No appreciation whatsoever. I just hate it when people don't appreciate things. That pisses me off more than anything. But anyway, I gotta go to work.